Insights with Terri Ep.93 a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Ep.93. Here's Terri.
Hi, everybody. This is Terri, and you're listening to Insights with Terri Ep.93. Thank you for joining me for the week of October the 16th through the 23rd, 2022. There's going to be a lot going on for us. There is so much energy that's going on for us in this week. I'm not even sure where to start. Some of it can be a little challenging and a lot of it can be really, really good. So we just are going to take it just a little bit at a time, one step at a time. And I'll try to address the stuff that I can, keeping it as succinct as I possibly can as well. Now, we're still in that Venus energy, and that Venus energy has been with us for a few weeks. We've been working with this as much as we possibly can in balance and trying to, get our relationships balanced, our work life, work play balanced. It's all about balance. And then that Venus that is ruling the zodiac sign of Libra, that has been very, very strong for all of it. So if you have an opportunity to hear more about it and what we've talked about the last few weeks, just go to the website www.terriworld.com, and Charlie O'Brien has put that up there and archived some of them so you can go back and do some research, because it is still in Mercury, which is how we think and how we communicate. Venus is still living there, and Libra is still in Venus, and Venus is ruled by Libra. So, really, kids, it doesn't take rocket science to know how strong this is. Now, there's so many opportunities in it, and I don't want us to miss any. We'll be moving into a very powerful Scorpio energy pretty soon, and we'll deal with that when it comes. I might touch on it just a little bit for right now, but I'll leave that for next week, because we're just finishing up that Venus energy. Mars, the planet of our passion, is still in that Gemini energy, and it will be going retrograde on the 30th of this month. Now, that can be a little harsh when things start to change that much. We've got a couple of eclipses coming. So when things start to change like that, we have to be very cognizant and very aware of things. So we may need to look at what we're doing. Maybe not putting too much on our plate. Try to keep your plate light if you can. I know I'm guilty of not doing that. Try not to rush. When planets change like this, we've got the two eclipses, one October the 25th and one November the 8th. That's a blood moon. We're going to talk about that. But when Mars goes retrograde like this, and we've got all of these eclipses, our ability may change in so many things, mind, body, our heart. So if we rush at something, even psychologically, if we rush at it, it might not be a good thing with it going retrograde. Physically, if we rush at something, we could fall, we could make a mistake, we could touch the hot stove, just not in the right place at the right time. So we really need to be so cognizant about taking our time and not feeding into that really scattered energy that could be coming, because there's so much coming at us at one time. It can be very distracting. I'm going to mention this again in this podcast because it's really important, and I don't want you kids to fall victim. Now, as I said, the eclipse on October the 25th is it's a solar eclipse. Well, yes, it is. Yes and no. It's what we're going to be working with is that new solar energy in the eclipse with the moon, because it's the moon that's eclipsing, is going to be moving into Scorpio. It's so complicated, and there's so many things that we could address. Now, some of you that are really wrestling with your lives, some of us are pretending there's nothing wrong. Not all of us are doing that. So the ones that are really diving deep, trying to find the deeper truths in our life, trying to uncover things, trying to go for a bigger transformation. That's what this energy will support. If you're oblivious and you're not trying to get any place, I don't even know why you're listening to me. This is more for the people that really want to transform and look at their lives and make it work as well as they can. So this retrograde in Mars will be coming, as I said, that's going to be coming on the 30th, and we're going to deal with that a little bit more, but I just want you to be prepared for it. On the 22nd, this is called the Venus star point. And on the 22nd, the Sun and Venus align. So there's an alignment of the two. Now, Venus is a female energy, and the Sun is a male energy. So it's a heart opening. So they consider that when this occurs, it can be a heart opening. And what does that mean? It means to embrace the joy that we have in our life. It can just be the small things. It doesn't have to be a trip to the Caribbean. It could be anything in the small ways. I find myself just happy that I smiled. Somebody cracked a joke, or a movie that made me smile or laugh. The dogs make me laugh all the time. The ducks, the turkeys, just maybe sometimes just stopping for a moment and hearing their little gobble, 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 or they have a little musical trill. Maybe enjoying a piece of good food instead of gobbling it down, speaking of turkeys. Maybe just enjoying it and savoring it. And so that joy can get us excited. That's what we're supposed to be doing during this heart opening of the Venus star point. We should be looking very strongly at gratitude. What in my life am I grateful for? And I know that I mentioned last week being in a position that was not pleasant. I had to try to find 10 things that I was grateful for at that moment. And it was a stretch. And if you'd have told me in the beginning that I'd have found 10, I'd have said nope, but I did. So, and then I became very grateful for so many things that I had overlooked. So we have to look at, with this star point, maybe how do we feel about our love relationships? And that can be, we love our family, we love our animals, we love our kids, our dogs, our friends. And how loving are we, and what are we sending out, and how loved do we feel? So this is very strong in looking at our relationships, especially with that Libra energy that will be coming out of, and then going into that Scorpio energy that's very deep. So kids, you want to get your homework done, believe me, or you're going to be stuck. You're going to be caught. So we have to look, well, we don't have to. It would be a good thing if we would look at, what do you value in relationships? What do you value in each particular relationship? Is there any value to it at all? And if not, why are you keeping it? And with that Virgo energy that'll be coming in the moon pretty soon, that's great for closets and drawers. Why am I keeping this thing? I have an apple corer that my sister gave me kindly. She gave it to me because she thought I could use it. I had never once used it. I just cut my apples up with a knife, or I just eat them. And I'm looking at this big thing taking all this room in the drawer. Could I put it in a less valuable space? Because that drawer is something that I go to for the can opener and the potato peeler. So does it need to be up front and center since I don't use it? Do I need it at all? So we need to be doing this with our drawers, with our house, with our clothes, with our Tupperware containers, with our relationships. And Virgo's going to help us with that as well. So look at your relationships. What do you value? What do you offer in the relationship that is of value? And what are you getting that's of value? So we need to reconsider our connections. Why are we connecting with this person? What are we connecting for? And this is something that we need to deepen our thoughts as we start to dive into it with Scorpio coming. Now, Venus is a female energy, as I said, and the sun is a male energy. So this is it's forging a balance, the male and the female. But because there's so much female energy with Libra right now, it will be predominantly a feminine energy. So how do we, in males too, how do we in a feminine energy approach our relationships? Is it nurturing? Is it compassionate? What does a female, as a rule, offer in a relationship? So it's very strong feminine energy. It should be fun and playful. You've seen teachers teach the kids, making maybe a hard lesson or difficult lessons or boring lessons fun and playful. That's what we're supposed to be doing, looking at that. We will then become a magnet for those energies, and there will be more fun and play in our life, which I think we do need more of. Looking at my clients, I don't lack that just because of my dogs. They make me play, they force me into it, they make me giggle. The ducks make me giggle even when I'm not prepared to. And even if I'm in a, let's get this done, hurry. Ducks don't hurry. Turkeys certainly don't hurry. Chickens do. So we have to look at our lives and say, what fun parts of our lives are we having fun in and fun for? So that magnet, drawing that's what a magnet does, right? That magnet on the Yeti cub makes it slide. So that magnet is drawing it to us. So this is a journey. When we have these eclipses, it's a journey. It's a journey that prepares us to grow, to not be hard on ourselves. It's just a lesson. So we have to look at, we're just here to learn. That's all it is. We're just here to learn. This is supposed to be expansion. That's what we're supposed to be doing. So I'm going to give you homework this week. Your homework is going to be to become aware. For this week, try as hard as you can to become very aware of moments of joy, what makes me feel alive, so that we can open that doorway and it can be opened for us too. And we can do it for other people. Now, as I said, on November the 8th, and I'll discuss that on in the November week of the 8th, it's going to be an eclipse, and it's a blood moon, and it will be in Scorpio, so there's a lot to prepare for. But I'm just preparing you that this is this is what is going to happen. And Mars, as I said, the planet of our drive and passion, that has been in Gemini, and that, as I said, is going on the 30th retrograde, and that's a harsh energy. Now, retrograde is right now with the big planets, your Neptune, your Uranus, Saturn, all of them. And Saturn is going to go direct for a little bit. Now, Saturn is considered a teacher, a hard teacher, a karmic teacher. So a lot of our karma goes into some of the lessons that we're learning. So this is review. Retrograde is review. So that we are allowed the opportunity to assess and see, what have I done? Is there any pattern here that I see that's developing? That's what I've kind of talked to people about, is, do you see a pattern here? This happens to you a lot. You visited this before. What's the pattern? Can you identify the pattern? Do you want to repeat the pattern? Maybe it's a pattern that you do want to keep repeating. I use patterns sometimes when I'm first teaching dogs. When I'm teaching them to sit, to down, I'll use a pattern at first. Then, as they start to learn their lessons and they build confidence in themselves, then we go outside the pattern and we learn all of these things individually and in different locations. And I think that that's what the universe is doing with us right now. Letting us review so many retrogrades, letting us assess and find out what the pattern in our life is that we keep repeating, good and negative, and which ones do I want to continue to repeat and which ones would I prefer not to. So the eclipses that we're having are also working in tandem with the previous eclipses that we had in April and May. So we've got a whole bunch of everything coming together, you know, when gears just come together. So we have to look at something significant that happened possibly to you. If you can think back, I don't know what I had for breakfast, but April, May, was there something significant around that time that happened that might be considering a repeat in your life at this time? So we can revisit that theme and work with it in a very positive way. And then maybe plant some seeds and say, all right, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to get there. This is where I want to go. Now, the beginning of this week in a health frame of mind, remembering that this is entertainment, the vulnerable points of our body will be our heart, the aorta, our blood pressure, blood circulation, your heart rate. So any of those possible health vulnerabilities, if you have them, pay attention to them. If you have irregular heartbeat, if you're low, if you're high, it'll be vulnerable this week. So what can you do to help your body? That's your friend. Your body is your friend and it's your vehicle. It wants to keep working for you. And then towards the end of the week, as I said, that Virgo energy is there. And that's going to help us, as I said, cleaning out the drawers, maybe going on a detox for ourselves. Perfect time for it. If you want to fast, if you want to go on a diet, if you want to look at a different diet routine, this is a perfect time. Virgo really helps with that. Now, the weakness in our body can be our pancreas, the small intestine, our digestive tract, the colon. So if you are vulnerable in any of those areas, be very particular about the food that you pick out, what you're picking out, how you want this to affect your body. The food isn't just comfort, it's medicine. The number that we picked for this week is the number 5. So when you pair the number 5 with the zodiac signs that are there right now and some of the cosmic events that are happening, we will need movement and change. Now, some of you may want to travel. There may be a little bit more pull on the traveling aspect of your life. Some will want to just stay rooted and stay right there and not move. It'll be a search for freedom and adventure. And we need to be open to new things and new ideas so that we can have those things, those signals put into our head so that we can move and be inclined towards changing things in our lives, be inclined towards learning and growing. Number 5 paired with this can be very ambitious. Now look at the elections, right? I hate to say it, but maybe on the off chance some of those people that are seeking election are doing it for ambition, for power, for their own gratification. But maybe with this kind of an energy, with the transformation and the deep diving, we'll have a chance to look at what candidates would be good for us or not good for us, see through the veneer, see through if it's just plain raw ambition, and maybe they could become sensitive and look at things from a different point of view. Please try to avoid boredom right now. This with Mars in Gemini, this isn't going to be fun. Boredom would not be fun. So be careful not to succumb to boredom or instability, because it's the antithesis, that's the weakness of Libra. Libra strives for balance. Instability is the exact opposite. And that can create an inclination towards nervousness and restlessness, not in a good way. So don't succumb to that. If you start to see yourself restless, do something proactive or productive. Keep a balance if you can in your emotional, professional, and your financial areas if you can work on that. Restrictions will not be fun at this time. So let's just say, and they're not going to do it right now, but say the government threw the mandate back at us as a mask. I wear the mask anyway, but I wouldn't want to be told I have to. It would just grate. So restrictions are not fun at this time. And we cannot be forced to do anything with where Mars is and where the sun is. If they tried, there would be some people with their hackles up, shall I say. So these retrogrades are offering open doors for us so that we can revisit some significant things in our lives. We can, as I said, plant some seeds, see where we want to go, see what's going. When I pulled cards for all of you in a very general way, just so that you know, the card that came up is the death card, not the card that is death necessarily, but it was the one that's labeled death, and that usually will indicate deep and profound transformation. So the trees right now are going through a sort of death period for themselves. The leaves are dropping. They're not getting the nutrients. The cold is interfering with their growth of new leaves. The ducks are not laying. Everything's tying up for winter's quiet time, the death of this summer, preparing for the beginning and the growth and the birth of next spring. So that death card is really trying to get us to prepare for what's coming, to embrace the changes that are coming and the transformation. And the next one is the Three of Hearts, which is celebrate. And then we've talked about that through this. So it pairs beautifully with what we were talking about. Thank you, universe. So it's about celebrating what we have in our lives, being aware of what we have in our lives, wanting more, becoming that magnet so that that good stuff can keep coming into our lives, and being aware of it. So many good things are in people's lives and they're not even aware of it. Being aware of it makes us more grateful. So it puts us in a really good position. And the other one is mental. It's the Suit of Swords, and it's 2, but it's upside down. So it's saying to avoid imbalance, just as I said a little earlier. So it's supporting what we already talked about, striving for stability, but it's upside down, which means that we're going to have moments where we're just not going to feel balanced. It's going to throw us off. Then we can rebalance or look at it, how can I rebalance? So just like you're in a canoe or you're in a kayak, you're going to try to keep that afloat by not going over, keeping it in balance. You don't want to do a dance, a funky dance in a canoe unless you want to swim. So this is about trying to really achieve mental balance for ourselves. So again, the number for this week is number 5, and a lot of the energy is around the eclipses that we're going to be experiencing. So folks, you go and have a really safe week. Be very, very careful in how you walk around. Just don't rush, and please keep your plate light. Don't put too much on your plate. I want to take a moment to thank sincerely from the bottom of my heart Charlie O'Brien, who posts all of this for us. Without him, really, there would be nothing. Without him, we would not be doing any of this because I wouldn't know how to do it. So if you have any technical needs or digital needs, Charlie O'Brien, just Google him, and he can help you out. He's posted us on Facebook, on Amazon Music, on iTunes, on SoundCloud, and on YouTube. So we're everywhere. Thanks to Charlie. Thank you, Charlie. And if you want to listen to some of the archived podcasts that we've done earlier, Charlie has also put them up on the website, www.terriworld.com. And if you would like a reading for yourself, so that I can make it personal for you, and or a partner, I can do it over the phone or we can do it in person. Text or call 519-726-6699, or you can email me at Terri, TERRI.COUTTS@gmail.com. Thanks again, everybody. Have a wonderful week. Use that energy well. Bye for now.
You've been listening to Insights with Terri Coots, and visit her website, terriworld.com, TERRI world.com. And we'll catch you next time